and time, like if you want to display the current date and what is the year, all that things. For that also, we have a module in Python. Okay, so that module is what is a date time. Okay. So if I have, let's say, import date time, so not to worry about what import statement is. Uh, this is not as present. Later we can discuss. So now import date and time as DB. So date and time is a module that comes with the Python, which we can use to work with dates and time. Okay. Now, so if I simply say, for example, if I say like, d dot date dot today, so it should be displaying me the current. Let's say I'm going to print d dot date dot today. So now this is going to print the current date. Okay, so it's going to display this format, year, month, day. That's how later on we can see how to change all this. But this is a basic today method that comes along with the date. Okay, it is going to display only the date part of it. Now, similarly, we have if you simply give today, the entire date is coming. Now, if I give along with it, let's say today dot year. If I give today dot year, this is going to print the uh, issue here. Okay, today. So d dot date today dot, if I give year, an extra bracket here. Now it is displaying the current year below. Okay, so that is a date function. If you give just today, it is going to display the entire date. If I want to extract the year part of it, I can give the year. Now we can always write programs. For example, let's say you want to, let's say I want to store this in a variable. Okay. Now I'm trying to print y. So it's printing 2023 the year. Now we can always write a little program like we can accept the year, let's say year of joining or something, or year of birth or something, and that from there we can find the age by subtracting. For example, I can give year of birth and I can give an input, enter year of birth. Okay. Now just trying to print both. So I run this program. Enter year of birth. Okay, it is trying to show, let's say 2000. Okay, enter. Now it is printing both. So 2000 is what I have entered, year of birth, and now it is I'm printing 2023, which is the current year. Now if I want to display the age of just age of this person, just subtract it, right? You just give year y minus year of birth. So now this is going to display the okay. Okay, because this is a these are strings, so we cannot do subtraction. So we have learned in the first class something called int. We can use an int method to convert a string into an integer, and based on that, we can perform the operation. Let's say what is showing age is 24. Okay, so this kind of usage will have if we use this or if we have this date functions, we can use it in such programs. Let's say we are accepting the year of birth, okay, year of birth, and we just subtract it and show the age. Okay. Now we have also learned how to print, an F string, right? In the last class, we have learned how to F strings. If I want to display in a text like you are so and so years old, I can use an F string here, F then double quotes, and then I can give a text here. You are this so and so, and that if I want to give, I have to give in curly braces. Old. Okay. Now, now it is going to print a nice and clean string along with the calculation. Okay, so I will run this. Date of birth, 8, that's printing you are 25 years old. This is another thing which just I wanted you to recall what we learned. This is called as F string. So if I want to print a string, in the string, if I want to have some variable or some kind of expression that we can give within curly brackets. Okay. All right. That is about today.year. And similarly, we have more function for date. So let's remove this. I have, um, so let's say I want to print d dot date dot today dot I give month. Okay. It has printed the current month, which is 7. So if we give year, it's going to print year, and if we give month, it's going to print month. All right. So that is the month function. And similarly, we can also have like we have more functions like day, weekday, and all that. So let's say I have here day. This is going to display a day, which is first today, 1st of July. The day is first, displaying first. So like this, we can display day, month, and year. We have also a function called weekday. Wait, I think it is weekday will be always a function over here. Okay. Weekday. Okay. So displaying 5 because it's beginning with today is Saturday. Yeah, it's beginning with I think zero. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So today is actually it is the 6th day of the week, but it's displaying 5 because it begins with 0. Okay. So Sunday will be always 0 over here. So that's what about weekday. And then we have like let's say I want to display uh, a date, like if you want to accept a date in a particular format, let's say this is a date one. Okay. The same import date time, and let's say I have I'm capturing it some kind of string. So basically what it is, it's like, for example, I just give DOB equals print. So if you want to just create a date, uh, and let's say I give DOB dot here. So what's happening if you want to create a date variable, okay? Uh, like suppose we have an input field or we are getting date field or text field somewhere else. If you want to create it, this is the format we give. So if you give d dot date in the bracket, if you give year, month, and day, it is going to create a date variable. You see, if I simply print DOB, it is not printing this way, comma, comma. It is printing like a date. Okay, so now this is a date field. Now I can now access all the parameters that we have just learned, right? So if I give DOB, okay, dot year, this should print the year of the date what we have just fed. Okay. Similarly, we can access month. Okay, so like this, we can keep on accessing for this date. It will always like date, month and sorry, year, month, and day. Now, similarly, we have in addition to the date. So let's say I just give uh, instead of date, I give date time dot now and print dob. This is printing the current date time. So this printing time also along with the date field. Okay, there is some issue here. It is taking some other zone. I mean, it is showing this time. Okay, we'll check that why it is showing. Now, so that way we can access the time field also. Now there is something called, if you want to display, let's say DOB is that, and let's say if I want to display date or time, there's something called STRP time. So that, let's say instead of giving this slash slash comma, I mean, is there, right? I showed you in the previous example that we gave comma. Let's say we don't have that in comma, we just have in a string. I just have a string like this 12.1.1. Now, this is not in a date format because date format should be in the comma. So if we get something like this, okay, then we should convert this into a date field. Okay, in order to convert that, we have to use a function called strp time. Okay, so now you see, because now this is just a string, okay, this is not a date. Now Python will not understand the second line as a date because it is not in the format it expects. So in such scenario, if you want to convert this into, a particular date time format, that time we use this strp method. Okay, this is part of the date time which comes along with it, and we can use it to convert in a particular fashion, and we can change all this and get it the way we want it. All right, so that is about strp time. Now there is something called delta. Okay, so now time delta. So let's say I have this same DOB. If I give d dot time delta days equals 3, so what it will do is So this is the current date, right? So I give plus d dot delta. So now, because DOB is a date that we are using it. Okay. Now that one, if you want to, let's say, if you want to display in that format, d dot time delta, right? Let's say I give my db plus d dot time delta, and I give, let's say I want to make it 3 days. So what is telling here is I give days equals 3. So what will happen is it is going to sub add that. Okay, I'll show you in a second. So days equals 3 if I give and run it. So my DOB was what? 1/1/2012. Oh, sorry, delta. So what it has done is it has added 3 days to the date that we had. Okay. So date we had was my DOB, which was 1/1/2012. It has added 3 days and then displaying it. Now it is displaying, okay, fourth day of the first month. So plus 3 days got added. This is another very useful method in date time, module that you practically use in the projects. Okay. Uh, so that's about date. So just just take a look at what we have seen so far. So we have seen this date time module, right? So this is a module in that we have some method that we used, right? So we have one year method. So that will display the year of it. Okay, then we had month, day will display the current date of the date. Then we have weekday start from the 0. That's why it showed us 5. Okay, and then we had something called SPR time. This is going to convert the way we are entering the date time into a particular format. Okay, then we have seen time delta. This is going to, subtract or add the number of days that we want in the current date field. So that is about the date and time. And you can actually write small programs around this, like using both string and date. What you can do is you can always write a program to accept string, date, and display. Date means we can access like date of birth and display the age of the person. This way you will know how to accept the string and how to accept the date of birth and how to perform action on both the fields. Okay. And another program that you can write is accept, accept a string from user and find if a particular word exists or not. Right? These are kind of programs you can write to practice what we have seen so far. All right.